Chapter 11. Placer de Mavia. By the great mercy of God, Placer de Mavia was saved from the shipwreck and taken to the city of Tunis, to the house of the fisherman's daughter, and was related previously. Then, after 2 years had passed, the fisherman's daughter took a husband near that city, and while they held Placer de Mavia captive there, she always lived very honestly, working gold and silk as the maidens of Greece are accustomed to doing. It happened one day that her mistress went to the city of Montagana, and left Placer de Mavia to watch the house. She had gone to the city to make some purchases, and while she was there she went to talk to the king's daughter, and she told her, "My lady, I'm being told that you are planning to marry, and that you are supplying yourself with blouses embroidered with gold and silks and other things proper for maidens. I have a young slave who is able to do what I have taught her from the time she was an infant, to embroider all manner of things as befit young women. Here are some samples of what she can do. If you want her, I will give her to you for 100 doubloons, even though I will be losing all the training I have given her." The princess, seeing the samples, wanted her very much, and she said that she would be happy to give her the 100 doubloons. The Moor said, I'd be glad to give her to you for that price, on one condition. You must tell her that I have loaned her to you for 2 months, because if she guessed that I had sold her, she would be so sad that she would fall into despair." Placer de Mavia was placed in her hands, and she came to love the princess very much. It happened a short time later that the city was attacked, and the Moors took many Christians prisoner. Among the men they captured was a soldier that had been an oarsman on Trnt's galley when it was lost. Placer de Mavia recognized him, and she said, "Aren't you one of the Christians who was on Trnt's galley when it went down at sea?" "My lady," said the man, "it's true, I was there, and I nearly drowned. I reached the shore half dead, and afterwards I was beaten and bought and sold. I went through great trials in those days." "What can you tell me about Trnt?" said Placer de Mavia. "Where did he die?" "By the Virgin Mary," said the prisoner. "He's very much alive. He's right here. He's the commander, and he's using all his might to conquer this land." He also told her that Lord Argamot was wounded, and then she asked him, "What became of Placer de Mavia?" "That maiden you're asking about," said the prisoner. "It's believed that she died in the sea, and our captain has grieved deeply over her." When she heard the news, she ordered all the prisoners to flee. Hearing that Trnt was alive and so near, she also wanted very much to escape. But considering how Trnt had conquered so much of the Barbary coast, and thinking of the victories that were told about the Christian captain, she was very happy, for she had known nothing about him, and believed that he had drowned in the sea. She fell to her knees, raised her clasped hands to heaven, and gave thanks and praise to God our Lord for the great success he had given to Trnt and the new Christianity, for he was making war on the enemies of Jesus Christ so bravely. She became very hopeful that soon she would be out of captivity, and all the suffering she had gone through up till then seemed to be nothing to her. The thought that she would see Trnt consoled her that much. On the day her mistress had to go and talk to the captains, she disguised herself so well that no one would recognize her. When the lady was before the captain, she was accompanied by 50 maidens, but Trnt would not listen to her, and sent her to his cousin Lord Argamot, and if he had replied badly to the ambassadors, he gave an even worse reply to the lady. Hopeless, they went back, crying and lamenting loudly. All that night, men as well as women did not cease their wailing and sighing. In the morning, Placer de Mavia told her mistress and the honorable men of the city that if they would give her liberty to go out, she would talk to the captain, and would tell him such things as he would do anything she wished. They agreed that she should go, because they had lost all hope, and had only that one day left. That day Placer de Mavia dressed as a Moor, and painted her eyes so that she would not be recognized. She took 30 well-dressed maidens with her. At noon they left the city and went to the camp, and there they saw Trnt at the door of his tent. When he saw them coming, he sent word that they should go to Lord Argamot, and that he could do nothing, since he had turned all his power over to him. Placer de Mavia answered, "Tell the captain that he should not refuse to see us, and even less to speak to us, because, if that captain did such a thing, he would be cruel and unjust. Since he is a knight and we are maidens, in accordance with the order of chivalry, he must aid us, and give us his advice and his support." The chamberlain immediately took the reply back to the captain. Upon my word, my lord, there is a maiden with those Moors who is very gracious. She speaks the Christian tongue most beautifully, and if your grace would like me to do a very great favor for the services I have performed you, when we take the city, I beg you to make her a Christian, and to give her to me for a wife. Have them all come here, said the captain. When they stood before him, they made a deep bow to him. Placer de Mavia, smiling, said, My captain, your generous heart cannot fail to act according to its custom. Your nobility is full of mercy, and you must forget the great crime of the ignorant inhabitants of the city, who will fold their hands and kneel down and kiss your feet, begging you for mercy. Look, virtuous captain, I speak with the spirit of prophecy. Do you remember that fortunate day when you were given the honor of chivalry in that prosperous court of the King of England? And the singular battles you fought at that time and won with great honor, with no trickery? What should I say of Philippe, son of King of France? In your great wisdom you made him King of Sicily, and now he possesses the daughter, the kingdom, and the crown. And when the blessed Lord, who is of greater excellence than anyone in the world, the Emperor of Constantinople, heard of your fame, he had you come to the city of Constantinople. His high majesty made you his captain, and showed you the Turkish enemies, and you showed the Turkish enemies your strength and power, conquering them time and time again. I am a Moor who speaks by prophecy, and my heart cries tears of blood for those worthy knights, because they are now as good as dead. Cry, miserable people, and lament the fact that Trnt LeBlanc has forgotten you, and it does not surprise me that he does not remember you, for he has forgotten a lady. I won't say who she is, but I can call her the greatest and best in all Christendom, in order to conquer this cursed land. Trnt was quite astonished when he heard these words, and he begged her to tell how she knew so much. Oh, Trnt, how little mercy you are showing. Go on pursuing those fleeing kings so that you can have all of Barbary in your lap, and let us live in blessed peace. Aren't you that prince of the line of Rocca Salada, who went into battle that pleasant night in the castle of Malvé, with that most serene princess, the beautiful Carmenisa? And if my heart hasn't gone mad, or I haven't lost all my senses, it seems to me that I heard tell that Her Highness let you into her chambers at a very late hour. She put her father's crown, that of the Greek Empire, on your head, and accepted you as her universal lord, with the help of a sad maiden named Placer de Mavia. You have given so little thought to either of them, it's as if you'd never known them. Her Highness, with you forgetting all about her, is more dead than alive in the monastery of Santa Clara, always calling out the name of Trnt, in whom she has placed all her hope. O Trnt, how you have shed all kindness! You know full well that the Turks have overrun all of Greece, and that all they have left to do is take the city of Constantinople and seize the emperor, his wife, and the grieving princess.